Hi, it's Colli Christante. Now you know me as ColliTalks, Transformative Conversations. I wanted to give you a little bit of a background because, I would be very curious to know what is this podcast all about? Well, how it all came together is through, of course, my transformations that I've had along the way in this thing called life. You see, on a very crisp winter evening, sitting in the back seat of a car returning home after a figure skating performance, my brother asked me why I did not skate as great as my friend Susan. And I never responded to him, but deep inside, I knew the reason. There was something intuitively I felt was off. My power and my sparkle was gone. And I looked up into the night sky filled with aurora borealis and millions of twinkling stars, and I could feel the hot tears slicing my cheek open. And it wasn't long after that my mom passed away. I was not even 15. So that moment, that night actually was the beginning of a quest. I continued to search and change and grow and heal through spending many nights talking to the stars, looking for that somewhere I belonged. And I wanted so much to return to that feeling, the joy, the passion, the love I once held for skating. I actually began feeling like an outsider with everything, all the time. Yet, when I talked to the stars, I felt hope. Constellations and stars became my constant companion. But you see, it was the fear of rejection, abandonment that became part of my psyche. And even though the actual events causing rejection and abandonment were infrequent, I had to deal with the fear all the time, even though it was unconscious. That is how I created pain to always be there. And by doing things to avoid pain, pain ran my life. I mean, I ran right into more rejection and abandonment. I would attract people, especially men, mostly, and places that would guarantee pain. All my thoughts and feelings were affected by my fears. Throughout my life, I've had tremendous amount of trainings and incredible experts and people come into my life to teach me and guide me. And it was when family constellations and freedom from self sabotage entered my life. And I saw how my behavior patterns based upon the avoidance of pain became an actual doorway to the pain itself. So if I was afraid of being rejected and abandoned by someone, and I approached, say, the person with the intention of winning their acceptance, I was already skating on very thin ice, no pun intended. It didn't take much. Sometimes a look, or they would say the wrong thing, and I would feel the pain of a rejection and abandonment. The bottom line was once I approached them in the name of rejection, abandonment, like I say, I would be dancing or skating on the edge of rejection and abandonment throughout the entire interaction. So, one way or another, the feelings work their way back to my motive behind my actions. The avoidance of pain is actually what my actions were linked to. And I would feel that link in my heart. The heart, as we know, is where the pain is. Until I felt so much pain as I went through my days and nights that I actually began to really do the deep, deep dive. So I had this core of pain in my heart. My personality traits and behavior patterns were all about avoiding this pain. I avoided it by, say, keeping my weight a certain way or wearing certain clothes and talking a certain way and choosing a certain hairstyle. Everything I did to avoid this pain until I did not. And like I say, that is when family constellation, systemic trauma training, and freedom from self sabotage entered and changed my life 180. So my quest, my search has brought me to whom I have become. And that is an internationally recognized self sabotage coach, mastering performance advisor, systemic family constellation facilitator, yoni constellation facilitator, detective of patterns, beyond mastery in NLP, kinesiologist and communication expert, as well as a yoga instructor. I'm also an author, and I have a book coming out, which I'm so excited about. It is with the editor and publisher right now. So, my lifelong interest in patterns they began way back. And my mind-body communications motivated me to offer, specialize, and master in these performance consulting services to musicians and directors and producers and authors and athletes and coaches and some, junior athletes, some elite athletes. I mean, it really, the compass is wide there. But through the design and development and delivery of communication and peak performance mastery training programs, I have earned an outstanding reputation as one of Canada's foremost communication experts. I am dedicated to assisting people to generate change in your life, their life, and careers. And as an in-demand leader specializing in advanced communication, this can happen. And that's why through this podcast and through my life, which has been an ongoing journey to a deeper and more intimate relationship with the divine and being of greater service to the individual and collective awakening, because awakening goes beyond coaching, teaching, mentoring, and sponsorship to include the level of vision, mission, and spirit. I support another person by providing contexts and experiences which bring out the best of that person's understanding of love, self, and spirit. An awakener awakens others through his or her own integrity and congruence. An awakener puts other people in touch with their own missions and visions by being in full contact with his or her own vision and mission. And I am. So for the last 32 years, I've worked in the field of evolving consciousness toward creating new forms for culture to be fully actualized. My passion is to awaken, engage individuals to create a world that reflects their highest identity. I bring a deep intuition and remarkable scope of wisdom to people. And I am very passionate about supporting the current shift in consciousness by working with clients to transform their energetic inheritance of the family lineage. Years ago, I had created and developed and co-produced a documentary called The Zone. And on that documentary, there were to be tremendous amounts of experts. We are talking Bruce Lipton, Dan Millman, so many wonderful people, and they will be joining us here on this podcast, as well as I had been approached by a lovely producer in Vancouver from the network W, which stood for women. And she wanted me to do a show called ColliTalks. Well, guess what? I didn't do it then, but I'm doing it now. And I'm bringing it to you. And I'm bringing all these amazing experts and amazing insights to you through these experts. So please join me, join them, and go deep and allow yourself to just relax into the knowledge and the expertise and the wonderfulness and the uniqueness that you are. And my wish for you is to discover inside of you those unique qualities, to bring out the best in you, because you really are so worth it. So we will talk soon. Please subscribe, join me, and tell others about this. So until later, lots of love and soul hugs. Bye-bye for now.